Before you skip this video, wait. Something is coming, something unexpected, and if you're a Scorpio, this message was meant to find you, not by chance, not by luck, but by divine timing, because there is a knock at your door. And no, it's not from someone you know. It's from someone who sees you, someone who mirrors the part of you you've forgotten. A tall man is coming not to rescue you, but to awaken something ancient inside of you. If you've been feeling lost, numb, restless, or like life has been whispering a secret just out of reach, then don't look away. What happens next might just change everything. This isn't a prediction. This is your soul remembering. Stay with me, Scorpio, because what you're about to hear is not fiction. It's a return to truth, to power, to you. There comes a time in every Scorpio's life when the universe stops whispering and starts knocking. There comes a time in every Scorpio's life when the universe stops whispering and starts knocking. And when it knocks, it doesn't always bring comfort. Sometimes it brings a figure, tall, mysterious, unexpected. Not to harm, but to awaken. Not to rescue, but to reflect. And this time, that knock is echoing at your door. Who is this tall man? What does he want from you? Why now? This isn't the beginning of a horror story. It's the beginning of your return to yourself. The tall man's arrival isn't literal. He is a symbol, a manifestation of the part of you that you've tried to silence or bury. The one who knows the truth. The one who has waited patiently in the shadows of your soul until you were ready to see, to remember, to rise. As a Scorpio, ruled by Pluto, you understand the depths of darkness, the mysteries of the soul, and the necessity of transformation. You are the phoenix, the alchemist, the healer, but even healers sometimes forget their own medicine. You, who have always held space for others, are now being called to hold space for yourself. That is what this man represents. Your own inner initiator, inviting you to reclaim what you abandoned in the name of survival. Let's go back. Think about the moment in your life when you began to compromise your truth just to fit in. Maybe it was a subtle decision. Maybe it was something loud. A relationship that asked you to shrink. A job that praised your silence more than your insight. A family dynamic that misunderstood your sensitivity as rebellion. You learned to adjust, to adapt, to camouflage, Scorpio. You became so good at protecting yourself that you forgot you didn't need to anymore. But the soul never forgets, and neither does destiny. So the tall man comes, out of nowhere, from the corner of your mind, or the dream you had last night, or maybe in the form of someone you're about to meet. He comes with a message. It's time to return, not to the past, but to the truth you carried before the world told you who to be. His presence will stir something in you, not fear, but memory, a remembering of your strength, a remembering of your purpose. A remembering of your need for balance, not control, not chaos, but sacred harmony within your soul. This isn't a warning. It's a wake-up call. Scorpio, you have been giving away your power, not because you're weak, but because you forgot how sacred it is. You've let others set the terms of your worth. You've shaped your voice around what they wanted to hear. You've said yes when your soul screamed no, just to keep the peace. But peace built on suppression isn't peace, it's paralysis. The tall man reminds you, it's time to move again, and not just physically, emotionally, spiritually, energetically. You've outgrown the versions of yourself that others still recognize. That's why you feel unseen. That's why you feel tired. That's why you've been longing for something without knowing what it is. It's your soul knocking. You are not here to please. You are here to transform, to go deep, to shed and become, to feel fully and fiercely. That's your gift. That's your design. And the moment you own it again, everything begins to change. Let's talk about balance. For Scorpio, balance is not found in pretending to be calm. It's not found in avoiding conflict. It's found in aligning your outer world with your inner truth. And that starts by acknowledging what's been out of sync. Ask yourself, where have I betrayed myself in the name of loyalty? Where have I remained silent just to avoid being misunderstood? Where have I dimmed my light to keep others comfortable? Scorpio, you are not too much. You were just around people who were too afraid to see you fully. That's not your fault. But it is your responsibility to stop shrinking for them. This journey is not easy, but it's necessary. And the tall man is simply the sign that you're ready. Ready to confront. Ready to forgive. Ready to remember. His message is not about danger. It's about destiny. He will guide you toward your forgotten dreams. He will sit in silence as you unravel the lies you believed. He will not judge. He is patient. But he will not let you stay asleep. Because you were never meant to live halfway. You were meant to love with depth, to speak with conviction, to move through life with a quiet power that changes rooms without trying. You were meant to embody truth so fully that your presence becomes a mirror for others to find their own. But how can you be that for others if you won't be that for yourself? Scorpio, this is your return to alignment. It won't happen overnight. It will happen every time you choose honesty over comfort. Every time you speak even when your voice shakes. Every time you walk away from what no longer fits. Every time you choose solitude over settling. There may be grief. Let there be. Mourn the version of you that didn't know better. Mourn the connections that only loved your masks. Mourn the years you spent hiding in plain sight. But then, rise. Rise in your truth. Rise in your power. Rise in the knowing that you are not too late. You are right on time. Everything you thought you lost is still waiting for you. The dreams, the joy, the self-respect, the peace. They are not behind you. They are on the other side of this awakening. When the tall man comes, welcome him. He's not an intruder. He's not a stranger. He is you, in a form you forgot you created. He is the guardian of your soul's promise. He is here to remind you of the vow you made with the universe before you were born. I will not live asleep. This is the moment you reclaim that vow. This is the moment your soul exhales. This is the moment you become whole, not because anyone gave you permission, but because you remembered that you already are. Scorpio, if you feel scared right now, that's okay. Fear is just the first reaction to freedom. And freedom is where you're headed, not the kind they sell in movies, but the kind that lives in the quiet decision to be fully you, no matter who misunderstands it. The tall man leaves no trace behind, except truth. And once you see it, you can't unsee it, you won't want to. This chapter of your life is not about reinvention, it's about remembering. You are not lost, you are not broken. You are returning. So when the knock comes, whether it's a dream, a person, a decision, or a feeling, answer it, because it's not someone else arriving, it's you. So what happens next? You change. Slowly at first. A shift in your posture. A firmer tone in your voice. A different answer when someone asks how you are. Then, like a tide turning beneath the surface, you begin making decisions from your soul, not your fear. You stop apologizing for your depth. You stop hiding your power. You begin to trust the fire that has always lived within you, not to burn others, but to illuminate your path. Scorpio, you are not meant for shallow waters, you never were. That's why the surface has never satisfied you. You've always been called to dive deeper, into the human condition, into your purpose, into the truth behind every smile and silence. And now, you are being asked to dive into yourself. What you will find there is not brokenness. What you will find is brilliance buried under the rubble of self-denial. You may feel resistance at first. That's normal. The ego is loud when it senses. The soul is waking up. But don't confuse discomfort with danger. You are not falling apart. You are falling into alignment. And yes, it may require letting go of roles, of routines, of relationships that no longer recognize you. Let them. Your job is not to convince anyone of your worth. Your job is to remember it, because when you do, you'll stop attracting what wounds you and start drawing in what honors you. People will shift. Some will leave. Some will rise to meet you. But you will no longer tolerate what asks you to be small. The tall man's presence in your life marks a new chapter. Not the kind you can plan or predict, but the kind you feel in your bones. It's the moment the tide turns. It's the whisper that becomes a roar. It's the day you stop waiting to be chosen and choose yourself instead. And the universe, it responds, it sends signs, repeats numbers, opens doors, introduces you to people who mirror your new vibration. Opportunities arise not because you chase them, but because you aligned with them. That is the power of remembering who you are. And Scorpio, who you are is a storm in stillness, a revolution in silence. A soul so ancient it knows when to fight, when to retreat, and when to rise again. You are not meant to blend in. You are meant to shift the atmosphere simply by being in it. You are meant to lead, not with force, but with depth, with truth, with presence. But first you must reclaim your reflection. Look in the mirror, not for flaws, not for validation, but for truth. Can you see the one you left behind? The younger version of you, the one who believed in magic, who felt things deeply, who dreamt with abandon, still lives within you. They're not gone. They're waiting for you to choose them again, to tell them they were never wrong for feeling too much, for knowing too much, for wanting more. That child is your inner oracle, the keeper of your rawest essence, and now you bring them home. Together you become whole. You walk forward, not as a mask, not as a role, but as your truest self, and the world responds to truth. Some will be drawn in like moths to flame. Others will retreat, unable to face their own reflection in your light. Let them. You are not for everyone. But you are exactly who you were meant to be, for the right ones, for your destiny, for the mission your soul agreed to before you were born. And, make no mistake, Scorpio, you have a mission. You are not here to coast through life. You are here to catalyze it, to bring healing where there is pain, to speak truth where there is silence, to bring depth where there is emptiness. But to do that, you must be full yourself. So nourish your soul, feed your spirit. Stop living on emotional crumbs. Stop giving the best of you to those who don't know what they're holding. Your energy is sacred, your time is gold. Your voice is thunder in a world addicted to whispers. Use it, not to scream, but to sing, to declare, to set yourself free. You've spent long enough in survival mode. Now it's time to thrive, to open your hands, to receive, to trust again, not blindly, but bravely. You're allowed to start over not because you failed, but because you've grown. Let your life be a testament to rebirth. The tall man's arrival is not the end. It is the initiation, an invitation to deeper intimacy with yourself. A call to rise beyond the narrative that was handed to you and instead write the one your soul came here to live. And Scorpio, you are the author of epics. Your story is not meant to be neat. It is meant to be true. It is meant to bleed and bloom and blaze. You are not what happened to you. You are what you do with what happened. So do something brave. Write a new chapter. Break a pattern. Say the thing. Leave the room. Come home to yourself. And when doubt creeps in, and it will, remind yourself, if the tall man could arrive at my door without fear, so can I arrive at my truth without apology. If he can knock without hesitation, so can I speak without shame. You are no longer waiting for permission. You are embodying purpose. Every day in small ways you return to yourself. And as you do, the world bends to meet you. Life becomes clearer. Emotions become teachers. Intuition sharpens. Synchronicities increase. This is not magic. This is alignment. This is what happens when a Scorpio wakes up. So let the tall man walk beside you for a while. Learn from him. Cry with him. Let him lead you to the places you've been afraid to visit. And when the time comes, let him go. Not as someone who saved you, but as someone who reminded you that you were never lost. You are the seeker and the found, the student and the guide, the question and the answer. And as the candle flickers at your feet, illuminating the shadows you once feared, you will see clearly. You were never meant to live in pieces. You were always meant to live in truth. Welcome home, Scorpio.